Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And my name is Tinecha Mochendo. And on this YouTube channel, we talk about faith, we talk about Christian living, we talk about everything in between. So stick with me. So today, I'm going to give you 5 things that faith is. 5 good things that faith. The first thing that faith is that faith is trusting God, even when you don't understand it. Yes, even when you don't even know how it's going to happen, even when you don't even know when it's going to happen, even when you don't know how, you don't know the when, you don't know the why, you don't know the where, you still have faith in God. Now that is faith. That's what faith is. You don't need to know everything. You don't even you need to be aware of every single thing that God wants to do in your life or through your life. But you still have faith in Him. Now that is faith. The second thing that faith is that faith is obedience in small things. You are not looking for miracle, big miracle. You are not looking for mountains for you to exercise faith. Most of the time we always look for big mountain for us to exercise faith, or maybe to say, "Oh, you mountain, move." Nope, that's not faith. Faith is when you exercise obedience. Faith is when you exercise your faith in obeying God, in doing what in those littlest instruction that God gives to you. You exercise faith in Him. You know it that for God to give you this instruction, that means there is a reason why. For God to tell you to do this, that means there is a reason why. Now that is faith. The third thing that faith is that faith is patience in the waiting season. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you should be weak, or maybe faith is not weakness. No, faith is patient even when you are in your waiting season, even when you are still waiting for God to do something in your life. Maybe you're still trusting God for marriage, maybe you're still trusting God for job, maybe you're still trusting God for anything at all, and it's looking like it's not coming forth. It's looking like God is not answering. It's looking like God is not looking your way. It's looking like God is not even paying attention to you. Yet you still exercise faith. Yet you still trust God. Yet you still pray. Yet you still attend service. Yet you still serve in the vineyard of God. You are still exercising your faith in God. Even when the answers are not coming forth. Even when you are not seeing the answers. Even when you are not seeing the workings. Yet you are still trusting God. Yet you are still serving God. Yes, you are still loving God. Now that is faith. That is faith. Faith is patience, even in your witnesses. The next thing about faith is that faith is action, not just belief. Faith is action. You don't just believe. You don't just have faith in God. You just don't you don't just trust God because you just want to trust Him, or maybe because your family member persuaded you to trust Him, or maybe everybody around you is showing that they trust God. Yet your action is not in line with what you say. Now that's not faith. No, faith is that your action, everything around you, whatever you do, all of them are in alignment of what you believe in. If you trust God, if you have faith in God, you walk towards it. You are trusting God for a job, you go out there look for job. You are trusting God for marriage, yes, you present yourself. You be like Ruth. I'm not saying you should go and pursue a man. Nope. I'm saying just present yourself. Let you just look beautiful. Take care of yourself. That's what faith is. Faith is not just believing, faith is action. You do something. You don't just sit down there and wait for God to come and answer you just like that. Nope. Even Moses, God asked Moses, what is in your heart? So if God might come today and say, okay, it's time to answer my daughter. And now God says, what is in your heart, daughter? What will you present to God? That's not faith. You are not just trusting God for something and then you sit back there and wait for God to bring in, or maybe some magic to happen. No, go out there, act. Act on your faith. You are trusting God for healing. Go to hospital. Test what is that. It's not that it doesn't mean that when you go to hospital you don't have faith again. No, that's not it. That's not faith. You know that God can heal you. You know that God is capable of healing you. But then you need to take some actions and then trust God for the completion of it, or for the completion of whatever you are requesting or waiting on God for. Now, the next thing you need to know about faith is that faith is holding on to hope. Yeah, the hope is alive. You don't need to be hopeless. Even when it's looking at it like it's uncertain, it's not working well. Even when you look around you and it's like nothing is working, you still have faith. You still hold on to the hope that is in your heart. Maybe God have told you something about you. Maybe God said you are going to be a prophet to the nation, but then it's looking like it's uncertain. Everything around you is not looking like a prophet at all. Maybe God said you are going to be a kingdom financier, but everything around you is not looking like you are going anywhere, getting to that, or maybe reaching to kingdom financier. Nothing is going around you, yet you still have faith in God. Why? Because God has said it. That's faith. You don't lose hope. You hold on to that hope. That is faith. So I would like to know, where are you lacking? Where do you feel that you are not doing it right? Where do you feel that you are not doing your best, or maybe you are not exercising your faith well? Or where do you think that you are doing but I didn't mention it? I would like to hear and I would like to learn from you. Do well to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you and see you on my next video.